Welcome back. Now, Equites has posted a distribution per share in line with guidance as it remains resilient. During the annual period, the specialized logistics REIT kept vacancy rates at 0%, with both its South African and UK property portfolios performing in line with expectations. And joining me in studio is the company's CEO, Andrea Taverna-Turisan. Thank you so much for your time, Andrea. Now, just to start off the conversation, just highlight, the key factors here that underpinned this performance in this period under review.
A lot of hard work, I think, ultimately. I think we made a strategic decision at the beginning of last year with our board that we had decided that we were going to eliminate some derivatives that we'd been trading with historically. The consequence of that, it was going to have a material impact on our distributable income. And we came to market this time last year with our year-end results, and we presented the numbers with a very clear guidance of what we were going to do and what we were hoping to achieve through the year. And I think, the team has just performed beyond expectation, and we've delivered on way above our wildest expectations from a year ago. So from that point of view, it's been a great year for Equites. We've recycled a lot of capital. We've added some spectacular buildings to our portfolio. We've increased our ESG metrics. We've increased the quantum of electricity we generate from our rooftops, and we've improved the quality of the covenants in our portfolio. And at the same time, we've had a like-for-like rental growth of just over 6% in South Africa and just over 5% in the UK. So a lot of positives to be taken out of the last year.
Well, talking about that rental growth, because it feels like that this has been the story with, all the results that you come out with. Would you say that structurally, that rental growth trajectory is steady and moving in an upward slope?
I think the last 2 to 3 years has seen that. I think what you've had a lot of blue chip corporates and people trying to operate in the most competitive part of the online space, if you like. We've seen a lot of them basically invest in real estate solutions, which allows them to then incorporate their technologies to be as competitive and on the button as they possibly can be. And I think we've been the beneficiaries of that over the sort of last 5 or 6 years. But over and above that, though, I think what you've seen is some construction inflation come through, pretty significant construction inflation in the UK. Nonetheless, not quite as extreme here as the UK, but nonetheless, some pretty big construction inflation here, and consequently with very low vacancy in the high quality A-grade space environment, that's necessitated clients to basically pay the rentals, otherwise developers weren't prepared to deliver the product. And I think that has been the common theme over the last couple of years, and I think we've seen, I'd say comfortably, at least 30% rental growth in our portfolio in the last sort of 2.5 years.
It's quite interesting to note the benefits that you are getting in shifts in, some pockets of the business sector. Of course, talking about more companies now moving to online operations where they need to beef up their technology offering in that, pocket as well. But also talking about how you have posted a strong operational performance because of the strategic moves that you have made. But at the same time, you still mention that the business is linked to the macroeconomic environment. And I'm wondering if you have, seen significant leaks there where you absolutely cannot ignore the headwinds in the macroeconomic environment, and how you're responding.
I think the response really comes from our clients ultimately. They are confronted with these headwinds, and they are needing to strategically decide how can they improve the efficiencies of their business. And one component of that is basically housing their supply chain in real estate that can mitigate costs, improve efficiencies, and then obviously the final element is energy's played a big part in this as well, with the lack of energy and the guaranteed supply of it. By providing environments where we can guarantee energy solutions for our clients, not completely 100% linked to a diesel generator, but by using renewable sources too, we've provided solutions for clients which have enabled them to mitigate those costs of operation. And ultimately, that's what it comes down to. It's being as efficient as possible. Ultimately, the customer's fickle. If your product's not on the shelf, he ain't going to buy it. It's really that simple. And you need to have it on the shelf, but you need to have it on the shelf at a price where the customer can afford to buy it. And we play a very small component in that whole process, but a very important component in it.
Well, I mean, just talking about your renewable energy expansion, how far are you from being completely insulated from the effects of load shedding?
I think we're still a way away. I mean, I think we almost up to about half of our buildings that have got a renewable energy source incorporated into them. Not all of them have batteries, so the use of batteries obviously then allows for usage at times when the sun isn't shining, failing which obviously, but that being said, we continue to identify properties in our portfolio for sale with the added intention of recycling that capital into brand new properties that we are currently developing, and everything that we are currently developing obviously is coming with that energy security factor. And we're actually looking to take it one step further now into also the recycling of water and trying to mitigate the impact that we have in terms of water consumption. We've done that obviously by creating certain storage capacity within our facilities, but over and above that now we're wanting to take it to the actual treatment of that water, where we can actually use some of that water again, either for landscaping or for car washing or flushing toilets even. And the way we've developed our buildings, we've plumbed them in a way that for us to basically add a recycled water component to our building is very easy. It literally is the switch of a tap, effectively. So those are the kind of thought processes that go into our design, into our thinking, into our offering. And I think sort of, I want to say it sets us apart to a certain extent, but because this is all we do, and we like to think we do it well, I think we're starting to get more and more of a following. And obviously when you become strategic sort of real estate partner in supply chain to the likes of the ShopRites and the TFGs of this world, it certainly helps your credentials.
All right. Well, thank you so much for outlining those numbers for us, but also really giving us insight into some of the strategic pillars that you have implemented to kind of being accommodative to the changing macroeconomic environment. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
That was CEO of Equites, Andrea Taverna-Turisan.